It's now time for the Sports Philosophy Show on News Talk 1650 WHKT. Tune in for the next hour as Jack Ankerson and Daryl Cummings give their insights on sports with outstanding guests. Follow the show on Facebook under the Sports Philosophy Show or go to thesportsphilosophishow.com for more info. Listen to the show on your phone by downloading the TuneIn app and typing in WHKT. Now here is Jack Ankerson and Daryl Cummings.
With us now is an international type Hall of Famer.
Only 200 people in his Hall of Fame.
It's only just 200. Yeah, he's one of 200.
Yes. Well, we're very excited to have on the show here International Tennis Hall of Famer, coached 10 number one tennis players in the world, Nick Bollettieri. Nick, how you doing today?
Well, that's a tremendous introduction. I'm going to ask for a pay raise after getting that introduction. But I think, all the Hall of Famers, I think I'm in 10 of them. But this summer, I was very honored to be the first person inducted to the Black Tennis Hall of Fame. And that actually means more to me than all the other ones because I work with Arthur Ashe and helping giving children opportunities. So, a lot of people have titles, but it's what you've done to earn those titles. And if you earn those helping people have a way in life, then the title is well deserved, everybody. And
Nick, you really never really mention your age, but I believe at 84, you're not slowing down at all. You're still making a difference out there. Did you have a busy morning? What time were you up this morning? I
got up at 5 o'clock. I did my stretching, and I started my lessons at 6 a.m., sir.
Oh, wow.
So I've worked from 6 to 11. And then right now, IMG is hosting the largest junior tournament of the world held on one site. We have 1,400 people playing here at the Eddie Hurt tournament. So I went out for about an hour and a half, meeting all the people, and then I had lunch, and now I'm back on the court teaching. And at 4 o'clock, I'm going out and play a little golf, baby.
Mm-hmm.
What's your handicap in golf, Nick, just out of curiosity?
About 14, 15. I'm straight down the middle, but I'm very good around the greens and putting. So when we play in the pro-amateur, I try to get with the long hitters, and then from 60 yards or so in, I can help them, sir.
Yeah, okay, so just a bogey golfer.
Right, sir.
Yep.
Now, Nick, we had some people email us in some questions and so forth. One of the questions they emailed in was, if you had to pick a player, Jimmy Connors, I think, was quoted as saying if he had to pick a player to play for his life, I think he would have picked maybe Pancho Gonzalez. If you had to pick a player to play for your life, who would that be?
Well, I like to get to players that are great in the trenches. Hewitt, Nadal, if you're in war, you want those two in the trench hole with you because they gave it all, and they still give it all. And I want people who are not front runners, but are willing to dig in when all sorts of adversity against them. So, Leighton Hewitt was that type of player, and Nadal certainly is that type of player. Now, if you want a player that gives it all and gives with a lot of pizzazz, and you'd have to go to Andre Agassi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he certainly had a great market value. I think you were quoted as saying he changed the way people dressed and the way they went to the grocery stores.
He did. Some of the older women and ladies were wearing his denim shorts.
Uh-huh. Now, recently I saw a video of a 10-year-old Monica Seles hitting tennis balls, and when I looked at that video and she was 10, she looked like she was 85 pounds, and you wouldn't have thought she would have been number one player in Bradenton, Florida, more or less become number one in the world. What did you see in a player like Monica Seles?
Let's say this: Dick Vitale, who you all know, brought his two daughters here from Detroit for me to make them champions. I got them to get full scholarships up at Notre Dame. But then he saw me working with this skinny little girl. She was going on 12 at that time. And he said, Nick, what are you doing with that skinny girl? I said, Dickie, this skinny girl going to be number one in the world. And what I saw in her was she stood on the baseline, hit with both hands, and she was after you at all times. She was relentless, Monica Seles. And, she wasn't a great athlete now. If she moved back 4, 5, 6 feet behind the baseline, she would have been an average player. What made her so good was the determination, 2 hands on both sides, standing on the baseline and hitting every ball early and always controlling play. But her mentality was unbelievable. And that's what made her a great player.
Nick, where is Monica Seles now, and what is she doing?
Well, she sold. I think she's selling her house in Sarasota, and I think the word on the street, she's going with a little elderly fella who seems to be quite wealthy, and I'm certainly hoping that if they get together, Monica can enjoy the rest of her life because she's the kindest, nicest girl. Every week she calls me to make sure how are my young adopted boys doing? And when I was at the Hall of Fame, she flew up there to help put the jacket on. She's remarkable and never, never, never holds a grudge of why her career was basically ended when she was stabbed.
Yeah, that's right. We recall that incident like it happened yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Now, Nick, down there at the academy, certainly the tennis academy is what got started there, the Nick Bollettieri Tennis Academy. But there's more to the academy there now with IMG, the ownership.
Yes,
I mean, what is it like there? How many sports are there, and what's the campus like nowadays?
Well, I started with 40 acres. It's 500 acres, 9 sports, and it's now owned by William Morris Endeavor. They bought it from IMG last year for $2.3 billion. They bought the worldwide IMG. There's 1,000 full-time students, 500 acres, golf course, 24 soccer fields, football stadiums, new schools. It's just remarkable now to think it went from 40 acres of tomatoes to 500 acres.
Yeah, and I think last time I was down there, I remember seeing Coach Krzyzewski was down there recruiting someone out of the gym. Right. So it's like a who's who down there, I believe.
It is, sir. It is, and also IMG teaches you to prepare for life too, because how many number ones in the world can you have? What we try to do is get them ready to get a college scholarship, and if you're fortunate to have some that can go higher, you're very lucky. But the majority of the students should go on to college with a college scholarship, sir.
Nick, those of us here in Hampton Roads, the place we call home, has been graced by your presence a couple of times in the last 2 years. And certainly, I hope you enjoyed your experiences here.
Well, I do also in the home of Mr. Cummings. He's a great guy and a wonderful family, and coming up there brings back old memories, because back in 1949, when I graduated high school just before college, I was lifeguard at the Princess Anne Hotel on Virginia Beach, sir.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know how many people knew that.
And I think that's where you met your first wife, right, Nick?
That's right, sir. 1949, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Now, when you came here 2 years ago, was that the first time you've been back here since then?
That's right. That's the first time, sir.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, so brought back great memories, and don't ask me how many wives I've gone through, because that would take all day, and that would be a program in itself.
Well, Nick, I think in regards to the wife, if people decide to go to the website, bollettierithebook.com, I think there's a nice chapter in there about I think it's 8 wives.
That's right, sir. And what I suggest to everybody listening to this, when you get married, make sure the guy gets the alimony, not the lady.
There's a piece of advice for you.
All right.
Well, Nick, thank you very much for coming on the show. We certainly wish you well. And
thank you, everybody.
And we look forward to seeing you in the future.
Okay, and remember, everybody listening, help those that need help. And if you do that, the world would be much better off. God bless you, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
All right. Thank
a lot,
Nick.
Thank you very much, Nick. Thank you.
Bye-bye, sir.
Now, Darryl, I want to tell you, that's an 84-year-old Hall of Famer worldwide. And you hear what he's so most proud of right now is being inducted into the African American International Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Nick's done a lot of good work with so many people, and I remember he was walking with his wife and he was complaining about some of these young children being overweight and females and so forth. And his wife said to him, "Nick, just quit complaining. Either do something or shut up." And he started an obesity camp in Vermont on a farm, and he got some money from some of his people. So
yeah, it was great. Great interview. I really enjoyed chatting with him. Sports Philosophy Show. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in 60 seconds.